What's up, guys? Happy Monday morning. If you're like a lot of people, including myself, you can struggle dealing with the comparison bug. That person's this thing, that business, their money, their relationship, their fitness, their abs, whatever it is. We all deal with the comparison bug sometimes. And I've even coached on using jealousy as a positive thing. And what I mean by that, like when I say using jealousy as a positive thing, when I get jealous of something, there's a trigger inside of me that says, that's a trigger, I'm jealous of that, that means I want it, how can I go get that for myself? That's the positive side, at least, of me utilizing what might be a negative trigger. Where some people use negative trigger of jealousy is like, well, I'm gonna take it from that person. That person doesn't deserve that. How dare they have something I don't? That's the negative side of jealousy. And like, we all deal with this sometimes, when you see somebody like, man, they don't deserve that. And like, well, who am I to decide what they do and don't deserve? That's the negative side of the trigger. I like using jealousy in the, ooh, I like that thing. I want that thing. Let me go see how I can get it for myself. And so the comparison analysis, that comparison bug, is the stealer of joy. And a mindset shift that I had years ago that actually came up in a book I read recently is you can't like Frankenstein your life together. You can't say, I want his smile, I want his eyes, I want that other guy's abs, I want that guy over there, I want his money, I want his cars, I want his watches, I want his wife, I want his family, I want my kids to be like his kids. You can't Frankenstein your life together. And I remember looking at somebody, and Tiff and I have talked about this a lot, that we struggle finding relationships that we look up to, because when you are honest about it and you are real about it, you look at the reality, you can't just take piece of their relationships. You can't just take a piece of their marriage. You can't just take a piece of their life. You can't Frankenstein your life together. You have to say, well, if I want that one part of what they have, I have to be willing to take the whole package, everything they deal with, all the negatives, all the emotions, all the challenges, all the struggles. You can't say, well, I want his abs, but like his marriage didn't work out, so I want my marriage to work out. Like, you cannot Frankenstein the pieces together. You have to say, well, if I want that one part of that person's life, I have to be willing to accept all parts, which means you have to literally be willing to flip-flop 100% of your life with that person's life. You can't just take a piece of it. You can use jealousy to say, hey, this is a part of my life that I want to improve, but people, I think, do this a lot. They're like, they look around their lives, they look around social media, and they try to Frankenstein their life together. I want this piece and that piece and this piece. It doesn't work that way. So next time that you look at somebody like, man, I wish I was like Mike, just using me as an example because I'm the only one involved in this podcast right now. If I want to, I really wish I could do that like Mike. You got to take all my stuff. You got to take my anxiety, you got to take my depression, you got to take my past, you got to take my memories, you got to take the things I deal with physically, the things I deal with emotionally, my family, my wife, my kids, my house, my cars, my stuff, my debt. You got to take all of it. You don't get to pick and choose what parts of somebody's life that you wish you had. You can, though. For me, when I realized that I can't piece it together, it made me a lot more grateful for my entire package. And so if you right now, I'm telling you, you cannot Frankenstein your life together. If you look at the entire body of work, the entire package that you have in your life right now, all the things you have or don't have, for me at least, it brought substantial amount of gratitude to my wife and I, to our marriage, to our house, to our home, to our kids. Like, we're not perfect, quote unquote, that no one is, but it allowed us to be like, okay, well, if we wouldn't trade our entire life for anybody else's entire life, package for package, whole body, packaging everything. If we wouldn't trade everything we have, then we can't trade part of what we have. And that allowed us to really see and feel more gratitude for our life. So look at your life, look at the holistic thing, every piece of it. Would you trade everything you have right now for everything somebody else had? Complete swap. That includes your kids, your wife, your cars, your stuff, your house, your business, your family, your parents, your church, everything. Would you trade everything you have for everything someone else had? If the answer is no, then I challenge you to be a lot more grateful for what you do have. At least that's what worked for Tiff and I as we were looking for marriages to look up to aspire to be, realize like we have a really good marriage and we should be really grateful for what we have. And that helped us analyze it, because you cannot piecemeal your life together based on other people's stuff. So hope it helps you look at your body of work, look at everything you have going on, and find a way to be a little bit more grateful for what you do have and a little bit less jealous of what you don't. Hopefully that'll help you show up this week, win fast and win often.